Coming up on our first FNN show of the year, how pandemic learning is still impacting students and teachers.
Plus how increased safety measures at EK are working towards a safer school.
And we catch you up on everything involving fall athletics. Stay tuned for all that and more because FNN is back and starts now. Happy Friday, Falcons. I'm Julie.
And I'm Trenton.
In the middle of the 2019 school year, schools across the country began to shut down due to COVID, causing many students to question if they were going to sit inside a normal classroom again. FNN reporter Amberly Nguyen digs into the effects that COVID learning is still having.
In an abundance of caution, I am ordering the closure of all K-12 school buildings in Michigan for 3 weeks.
The idea of not having school is something most students dream about, staying home, sleeping in, and no homework. But as days turned into months, the reality of learning from home set in. Schools eventually reopened, first online, then back in person, bringing a new set of challenges for students and teachers alike. The return to learning after months away was tough for many, including East Kenwood student Dante Landon.
I need to be physically there, otherwise it's going to be hard for me to actually work on the schoolwork. Most of the time, people would have their cameras off, so it wasn't like really interactive. It didn't feel like a classroom environment.
Dante was not alone. The switch from in-person to online learning was difficult for most students and teachers. Many students struggled to stay engaged. Teachers found it hard to keep students motivated through a screen. While students were learning to adjust, teachers were doing the same. Miss Bartley, an English teacher at EK, noticed a shift in students during the move from online learning.
Being a teacher during COVID was the hardest. I think it was like the hardest part of my career. I am a teacher who likes to get my students up and moving a lot, and we're in the hallway and we do a lot of group stuff, and that just couldn't really happen during COVID. And I missed a lot of that human interaction piece.
The National Center for Education Statistics found that after COVID, 26% of students were affected by a lack of focus or inattention.
I would say that I have seen a big decrease in attention span, and I feel like that's impacted me because I feel like I always have to be up at the front, moving, engaging, and being extra, if you will, because I have to compete with TikTok. So I feel like the only way to keep everyone's attention is to be the most, but it's also a little taxing on me.
Even years later, the impact of remote learning can still be felt. Teachers continue to see the effects as students rebuild their focus, study habits, and confidence in the classroom. At EK, I'm Amberly Nguyen.
The pandemic changed education forever, leaving a generation of students and teachers redefining what it means to learn, adapt, and grow.
EK is home to hundreds of athletes looking to use sports as a way to access and help pay for college. Charlie Nichols is one of them. And after reaching the varsity football field for the first time in August of 2024, it took only minutes for him to face one of his biggest setbacks. Reporter Ibti Abdul Qadir dives into his recovery and how he has bounced back.
One of the most underrated players on the football field is the center. Charlie Nichols occupies that position for the East Kenwood Falcons varsity football team. Charlie's football career has had many ups and downs. His most notable struggle began on a Friday night in August of his junior year.
It was honestly nothing. I didn't even know what happened. All I felt I just felt something hit my knee. I felt like a snap, and I just fell to the ground.
The pop that he felt in his knee was his MCL tearing. The MCL is a major ligament on the inside of your knee. It's critical for keeping your knee in place.
And Charlie Nichols being helped off the field right now by a pair of athletic trainers.
Before Charlie was sent to the hospital, East Kentwood athletic trainer Maddie Willer was the first person to check on him. She knew what was in store for his recovery.
Depending on the severity of the tear, MCL tears can kind of take months. Sometimes you can be returned to sport and playing through while you're still recovering. So sometimes I guess it depends on the severity of this tear and how strong we're able to get the muscles around the knee in order to get you back to play.
The recovery process for an MCL is 6 months to a year of hard rehab like weight training, flexibility work, and overcoming the mental hurdles as well. With the hope of coming back to football for his senior season, Charlie took physical therapy seriously.
I would definitely say it just set me back a little bit. Just missing my junior year, that's the main year for recruiting. You get your tape out and everything, you start talking to colleges and everything. So I'd say it was a setback, but I also have I already had prior years on varsity with the experience and everything.
All of the blood, sweat, and tears paid off. Charlie was welcomed back on September 5th for the first home game of his senior season. His performance was one of his best, and he was awarded Player of the Game for the victory against Byron Center.
His first game back since the injury last year, doing it at home in front of the fans. We've seen him pulling a ton, just running his butt off, getting those blocks.
Senior varsity running back Bam Nettleman is happy to see Charlie bounce back from his injury and play in his senior season.
It sucked watching him go through that injury because he's like a brother to me, and I hate seeing him down like that. It just really sucked all in general because he put so much work into that season just to get nothing out of it.
Now his attention turns to bringing a state championship to East Kentwood and hopefully continuing his football career at the college level. At East Kentwood, I'm Ibti Abdul Kadir.
You can cheer Charlie and the rest of the football team on tonight. Make sure to wear pink.
Every day, as hundreds of us walk through the school doors, we ask ourselves, do we feel safe? Behind every class, lunchroom, and gym, there's a team trying to make sure the school feels like a place they can learn and feel safe. Reporter Salwa Abdirahman digs into the further question, what does school security do to make students feel safe?
When students are put in an environment they can feel safe, they're able to participate more, focus better, and even start to enjoy school. A safe school isn't just about security, it's also about creating an environment where everyone feels welcome and cared for. Brandon Smith, EK's safety manager, says that in order to be a safety officer, you have to be dedicated to students' well-being.
But my main thing is de-escalation, and also we talking about relationships, positive professional relationships. I would say that's the most important thing with safety, because you don't want to be seen as just kind of like an enforcer or just somebody that's just always there when something bad happens.
At EK, there are many different people and positions making sure we're safe from not only physical threats, but also things like emergencies and unsafe behaviors. If you're ever roaming the halls during passing time or lunch, you may have seen a familiar face. Working alongside the safety team, our school resource officer, Deputy Karen Burrows, has dedicated herself to protecting students.
At least I can speak here specifically at the high school. I feel like staff, admin, our safety department, myself, we work alongside together to make sure that we ensure the safety of all kids, whether that's walking around during lunches, walking around before and after school, being at the bus stop.
Even with a dedicated safety team, some students may still not feel completely safe at school, a feeling that Deputy K hopes to change.
Let people know that we're here for that relationship, right? At the end of the day, whether we're wearing a uniform, we're wearing a specific outfit, we have a specific badge, that still doesn't take away from the fact that we're people, and we like having those relationships at the end of the day.
After speaking with the safety team, the attention turns to the students who experience these safety efforts. For many, safety goes farther than drills or rules. It's about feeling supported and comfortable in their environment. Caden shares his perspective on what it's like to be a student today and how the school's safety awareness helps build those connections.
The safety, they're very nice people, and if you get in trouble, they're not gonna like dog on you for anything that you've done. They'll just like, hey, you're in trouble, let's go see Mr. Kraft, and they're not gonna shame you or anything.
As the year goes on, the safety team continues to make students their priority. At EK, I'm Salwa Abdirahman.
As the school year goes on, the safety department will continue to put in effort into making every student feel safe and welcome.
This month and every month, our students have a chance to make their voices heard. FNN reporter Kamaya White shows us why it's important to vote for Teacher of the Month by highlighting two of our educators who have previously received the award.
This one here because
being Teacher of the Month is a moment to recognize hard work, dedication, and the difference one person can make in a classroom. Ms. Deckard was one of many teachers honored for her enthusiasm, creativity, and strong connections with her students last year. As she continues to grow in excellence, Ms. Deckard strives to make sure all her students feel comfortable and confident while helping them grow and succeed in math.
It shows how much I just care for you guys, and I try to be there for people in all the ways I can and just like make it fun and understand just all the realities that people are going through in their lives, and I try to make people's day a little bit brighter.
Ms. Deckard teaches with heart and has built reputation for creativity and kindness, creating better relationships with her students. Another teacher that was highlighted for Teacher of the Month last year was Ms. Parker, highlighted for her positivity and strong relationships with her students. With last year being her first year of teaching, Ms. Parker's impact was clear, leading her to Teacher of the Month due to her inspiring energy in the classroom.
Just seeing the kids grow throughout the year, or throughout the now 2 years. Now I get to see my juniors and seniors turn into little humans and little adults. So just watching kids grow throughout the years and building those relationships are really important to me.
Ms. Parker continues to make a lasting impression in and outside of the classroom. Her energy and encouragement help students believe in themselves and reach their goals. Students at EK have a real chance every month to celebrate a teacher that has impacted them. So be sure to check your emails monthly to see when the voting form is sent out. At East Kentwood, I'm Kamaya White.
And that wraps up your news this week, Falcons.
Now it's time for our first EK Sports Report of the year.
Let's toss it over to FNN Sports reporter Reese Imia.
Welcome back to the Land Falcons. It's Reese here bringing you your EK Sports Report. We are ready to bring you all the latest and greatest from East Kentwood Athletics, and we're kicking things off with a fall sports update. Starting things off, we have a few champions to celebrate. After slow starts to the season, boys soccer turned the season around at the halfway point, stringing together a bunch of wins. Then in the postseason, they beat Rockford in a shootout to win the district championship. Check out the game-winning shot. Earlier this week, they beat West Ottawa in the regional semifinals. Unfortunately, the boys' postseason run came to an end last night against Portage Central. Congrats to our guys for a successful season. Switching it up, now boys cross country brought home their first OK Red championship in more than 30 years. All-state runner Justin Johnson helped lead the team to the title as well as an OK Jamboree win. On the girls' side, Ava Lawrence placed 6th at the OK Red conference meet and earned all conference honors. Both teams head to regionals at Portage Central tomorrow to qualify for states. Over at Stonewater Country Club, our girls golf team is hard at work on the driving range. The golf team has worked very hard this year. Even though they didn't get the outcomes they wanted, the future is bright for the program. Macy Colzo and Lily Lee will both be returning to the team next year as they look to build on their all-conference honorable mention awards from this year. Diving over the pool, the girls swim and dive team has been very competitive at every meet this year and is sending 4 members to states. Shout out to Scarlett Robinson, Bella Finkbeiner, McKenna Robbins, and Ayla Wiltrout. The boys water polo season has been a lot of fun, but after losing so many seniors, there has been a learning curve for the young team. There's been some ups and downs throughout the season, but a lot of the younger guys are stepping up this year, and they are excited to see how they finish out this year and the future of the program. Over at the Fieldhouse, the girls volleyball team has wrapped up their first year under new head coach Justice Kraft. The new adjustment is helping the team prepare for the seasons ahead. While the win-loss record may not have been there for the team, there are building blocks going into next year. From the volleyball courts to the tennis courts, the boys tennis team wrapped up a great season at the regional playoffs. Simon Walters brought home 2nd place in singles, and Parker Van Houten earned a 4th place. The young team looks forward to returning many players next fall for another strong run in 2026. Finally, the EK football team is sitting at 6-2 and face off against Grand Haven tonight with the chance for a home playoff game next Friday. For the Falcons, the mission is simple: win. That wraps up this week's sports report. We'll be back next week with highlights from the latest fall sports and playoff updates. Now let's pass it back to the desk.
Thanks, Reese.
Every week on FNN, we wrap up the show with a fun segment. And now we are looking for your help.
What's up, Falcons? If you know FNN, you know that at the end of all of our episodes, we have what we like to call our fun segment. This includes things like Guess the Song.
My name is Delamonte Price, and my favorite artist is Party Next Door, and we're playing Guess the Song.
And Falcon Fit Check. If you would like to be a part of any of these videos, please find the FNN flyers around the school and scan the QR code.
And that does it for today's show. We will be back next week Friday for more. But until then, make sure to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to Falcon News Network on our YouTube, where we catch up on sports live streams, previous episodes, and other great content.
Plus, check out Falcon News Network on Spotify for our new season of podcasts starting next week, and tune into our live radio station.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next Friday.